The Hero by Baltasar Gracián. Chapter 1. Conceal the extent of your capacity. The first and leading point regarding any great man is that he must be well acquainted with the extent of his own abilities, so that he may manage them with discretion. For this is the only sure and certain rule that can or ought to guide him in how best to exert his merit. It is a great art to know both how to gain the esteem of others from our very first steps into the world, and how not to reveal ourselves entirely to them. The way to do this is to always keep others' expectations of us high, without exhausting them, so that one great enterprise, one glorious deed, or whatever distinguishes him in his own way becomes a pledge of more to come. These achievements in turn build a foundation of hope, so that others expect every day to see still more of the same from us. In truth, he who would preserve the admiration of the public has no other way to do it, but by concealing the measure of his capacity. For as a river inspires dread only so long as we are ignorant of its ford, so veneration accompanies a man only while the bounds of his ability remain undiscovered. It is our ignorance or our presumption of the vastness of his merit that continually preserves him in possession of esteem and preeminence. Therefore, it is a maxim of practical wisdom that to let others fathom our depth is much the same as granting them the right to rule absolutely over us. For this penetration into the abilities of others is, in a sense, a sure means, when duly practiced, to change the whole face of men's conditions, to make the superior person but a phantom and a name, and to substitute the inferior in his place and authority. Now, if a man who has fathomed another's depths thereby gains power to rule over him, then the man whom no one can fathom lives always beyond the reach of dependence. It should be no small part of your care, therefore, to endeavor to defeat the vigilance of those who are continually prying into the measure of your competence. In this particular, you must imitate the able masters of any art or science, who will never reveal to their apprentices all they know at once, but teach them by degrees, explaining things little by little. They make what is properly the fundamental essence of their science a mystery, into which none are initiated but themselves. A secret the masters reserve to support their own reputation as men of the first rank and of unlimited capacity. To aspire in this way to a kind of infinity, to aspire in this way to a kind of infinity is certainly to have the glory of resembling more than most of mankind do the sovereign being. This is the first foundation of heroism and true grandeur. And though by this means no man's merits can become inexhaustible. Yet, as it is the work of no small genius, they may at least appear to be so. Whoever can appreciate the subtlety of this maxim need not wonder at the praises given to that seemingly strange paradox of the wise man of Mytilene, that the half is better than the whole. To apply this maxim here, keeping one half of our abilities in reserve while revealing only the other, carries more significance than if the whole were spent all at once. In this art, the art of maintaining a constant reserve to satisfy the expectations of the public, Ferdinand the Catholic, the first king of the New World and the last of Aragon, excelled. He was a prince of more accomplishments than all his predecessors. He held all of Europe in perpetual admiration, not merely through the countless laurels that graced his brow, but through the sagacious management of his rare qualities, which yielded one glorious result after another. His statesmanship, in which he eclipsed all rival princes, was even more eminent in that he knew how to shroud his motives from the eyes of the entire world, even from those closest and dearest to him. Not even Queen Isabella, his illustrious consort, whom he loved passionately, was privy to his motives, and his courtiers, despite all their tireless efforts to spy upon, decipher and guess at them, could never uncover them. All their inquiries were in vain. They never knew their prince except by his actions as they unfolded one after another, each still astonishing them anew with its splendor. My advice, therefore, applies to you, O young heroes, who are charmed by glory and aspire to true greatness. Endeavor earnestly to acquire the perfection of which I have been speaking. Let all men indeed know you in order to be esteemed by all, but lay yourself open to none. For by this conduct, a modest stock of abilities passes for a great one, and a great stock of an almost infinite one.